Welcome to our daily reading for Monday, January 9th, 2017. Remember, it's a general reading, so see what feels right for you. See which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you're wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, praying about. We're all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing at the same time, at the same pace. So see what feels right for you. It could be one sign, and that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions based in love for the highest, greatest good of everybody, so we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you, how you ride these energetic waves that come through here is always up to you. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave? Preparing for that wave? Crashing into the wave? Riding the wave? Or ignoring the wave? Also, feel free to make this an interactive video if you want to pull some cards for yourself. And if you have some time, try to check out the musical playlist, the tunes, the songs below. Enjoy the music. See if there's something personal for you that brings some depth to this reading. Thank you for joining me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in a moment for the reading. Hi, welcome to our reading for Monday, January 9th, 2017. Let's see what kind of energy is coming on through for the day. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, our higher self, angels and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. Let's get clarity and focus on the energies coming through for the day and wisdom for us all to ride these energies best. It's the beginning of our week. It's moving out of Mercury retrograde and towards a full moon, towards completion, and it's a transition tweener time. Hopefully we're moving forward with a new momentum, a new rhythm. So let's start with one card and get clarity for Monday, January 9th, 2017, and wisdom for our day. One card. The grouse. That's cool. Express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. So that's the new rhythm. That's the new momentum. You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of like the drum, you know, the bass, just the bass. I just heard the bass, MEGHAN TRAINOR song. I'll put that below. But it makes me think of when you can't quite hear the song, you know, but you hear the bass first. You know, if it's in the other room, somebody has the music on, you can't quite tell what kind of music it is, but you hear that rhythm, that beat, right? Or the car coming down the street, maybe you don't hear the song, but you feel that rhythm. You know, it's beyond just the hearing. It's physical. You actually feel it in your body, in your energy. It changes. You can feel it on your feet, you know? That made me think of another song. Feel the earth move under my feet. I'll put that below. But it starts with that beat. Like, I see a score, you know, like a orchestra score a conductor would have, and all of the different parts down. But maybe the focus today starts with that beat, the rhythm section. It could be just moving your body, you know, finding that beat, finding your stride. Wow, that just made me think of the John Travolta walking down the street. I'm not sure which song, the Bee Gees. I'll put it below. I don't want to get off track. I'm getting a lot with this. So it starts with that beat, the rhythm, even making a song, you know, putting on your iPad, start with a beat, start there and see how it grows. Allow there to be expansion. Allow there to be different layers. You know, but get that beat going good. You know, don't get tired. Make sure your beat is in a rhythm you can continue. You know, continue to move towards. I feel like this might be something you do a little bit every day, or you move around your schedule so you can put a little, like, I get like a symbol, like, you know, that little top beat every once in a while into your week or something that will help. But discover this as you go. Start somewhere. Start with that bass rhythm. Wow, I just thought of Black Velvet by ALANNah MYLES. I have a lot of songs coming through today. So that beat in particular I like because it's like a heartbeat. And that just made me think of Reptilia by The Strokes. Wow, we're going all different directions with this. Maybe it's through music. Maybe it's not even the words today. Maybe it's that rhythm, finding your rhythm that gets you going and starting there. You know, allowing yourself to start from the beginning at something. Maybe it, you know, you were working in, you know, that song just got old. It was on repeat all the time. And all of a sudden that flair, that drive just became like, you know, like doing a show over and over and over and over. Even, you know, that's like a stage show or something like that where things don't change and you do the same thing. You know, you have to create that same magic every time you get on stage, you know? So this is, I feel like maybe changing the show or adding a new song all of a sudden. You know, you have that part that you're good with, that rhythm, you know, that thing that's on autopilot that you can do, that gives you energy, that you constantly are in a creative mode or a moving mode with something, but it's room to add more is what I'm getting. So if you have too much going on and you don't feel like you have that steady beat, take away some of those top notes, those extra things that are weighing you down and not letting you like move around, and move some things around, maybe in your schedule or what you're doing, let some things go, clear some space, have some conversations, you know, tie some loose ends, make some closure, and walk through that door. I feel like you're walking through a door that's like a dance studio. You know, there's nothing in the way. It's like a big open space, maybe some mirrors, maybe, you know, some drums, some instruments in the corner or something, you know, maybe just a tape player. I'm going so old with that I think of a tape player. I thought of a tape player, like hit play, you know, like an old karaoke machine, you know, when it was just the speaker and the two tape players. That's sort of what I'm seeing. Maybe you need to sing or do something with a simple track. I'm getting writing. So maybe it starts with, even if it's like a big graphic novel, it starts with maybe the title and, you know, the outline, or, you know, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, or maybe just chapter 1, and see where that leads you. It might lead you to a different chapter 2 than it would had you gotten ahead of yourself. So get through chapter 1 first. Start to explore this room, dance around, feel out your space. Feel how big your space is to work with. It doesn't have to be a huge room is what I'm getting. You can have a tiny platform. You know, you can be in a nightclub with craziness going around you. But as long as you have your own little space, or you rise above that situation, maybe give yourself a little VIP platform, you know, to dance around here so that you're not bothered, you know, and no one's like invading your space here, or you just allow whom you need on your platform with you. So it could be a partnership, and, you know, like a dance, you could have 2 people up there, or a few, but not too many. I'm getting just maybe 2. But it starts with finding your rhythm. Maybe you need to find your rhythm first before you see who's dancing with you, or you need to just start dancing and see who feels like jumping up there with you. I don't know why I'm saying like a platform, but I'm seeing like a space that you have on your own, and almost like you have security around you and you're good. So, you know, you have your moment to start, to begin, to give yourself some space, to allow yourself space to rise above a situation. If you're stuck in the crowd in the beginning, do your own thing, you know? Find your own beat, your own rhythm, and that will gradually lift you up to see the situation from a different perspective. So I feel like you're like, you know, you can see how the whole thing looks perhaps later. So start with the environment, the space you have now to lift you up, to rise you above that situation, and you'll start to see the bigger picture later, step by step. So let's continue. I feel like I just went so many different directions with that, but I keep hearing like the bass and hearing the car, or hearing like that sound, and you're not, you know, you haven't quite tapped into the song yet. You're just starting with that sound, almost like you're drawn to a sound, you're drawn to a beat, to a specific rhythm, but you have to get a little bit closer to hear it more clearly. Or just start to create your own song in the meantime. Wow, that made me think of, I heard I have to find the song. I don't know which song it was. It was a Jimmy Buffett song. And it was, you know, there was the crowd and people talking and singing and doing their own thing. And I could only hear the basic chord progression and the beat. And I thought I was hearing Kiss the Girl from The Little Mermaid. And I was singing along Kiss the Girl slower and lower with the song. And I had to look and see what it was. And it was a Jimmy Buffett song. So I hope I can find that. That might be a mission to find. Let's move along. We're going to go to the magical messages from from the fairies oracle cards and get another card, another layer to our day, to the energy coming through for Monday, January 9th. On the grouse. I also think of how beautiful the grouse is. It's like they blend in and they stand out at the same time. It's like they blend in with the natural nature surroundings, environment around them. But when you focus on them, they're so beautiful. They're beautiful little birds. And they do a little, like, I don't know, they like walk along the ground and do a little dance. They're not really, I don't think of them as the flying bird. You know, they sort of do their thing on the ground. So maybe you need to get grounded and, you know, really maybe ground yourself, feel the earth, feel the changes in the energy going on in the earth or in your actual surroundings, the actual environment you can feel, and not getting so worried about what's, you know, farther than that right now. All right, let's get another card for Monday. Oh, wow. Your wish is granted. That's a nice card. So all right, I'm getting different times here. So it could be a wish coming through today, or it could be that today is the day you feel like you've found what you want to wish for, what you want to move towards, what drives you, you know, what your goals are, that path you're moving into. So it could be just making that wish today, and you have to allow time for that wish to go out there and start to circulate in the energies, for God, the universe, your angels, your spirit guides to start working that out and get it moving and circulating. Sometimes it's little things you see in front of you that help you have faith that it's coming through. It's coming through. If you don't see it, if it's really something that has to happen behind like the walls, behind the veil, through time, maybe it has to do with someone else, you know, and then it's free will. So, you know, no matter how much divine intervention and timing might be going on around here, somebody can notice the signs or ignore them or just not be ready for them. So it's allowing time, freedom for everything to come through, you know. Sometimes it's right away and sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you're in that middle point, that middle ground here where you start to see the signs, you know, just when you were giving up hope, you get that sign, that personal thing for you, literally in a license plate on, you know, I'm getting like on a song on the radio or a conversation you overhear or something on YouTube or on TV or on a billboard or something like that, or a feather or a coin or something meaningful for you that comes through just when you thought like, oh, that's just, you know, my imagination. Wow, I just thought of Just My Imagination by The Temptations. I like that song. That's a nice one. So maybe it's stepping beyond the veil, stepping beyond the imagination and starting to put some action forward and momentum forward for you to get on that path, for you to have it happen as well. You can't just put it out there and expect everything to just come on back to you all the time. You have to still continue to make some kind of effort towards something so that you continue to give it energy that is in the right momentum. Sometimes it's release. It's putting that wish out there and just letting it go. If it's something that you can't control or see or is being pushed away or the door is not open, just let it go. Maybe it will come through a different door. Maybe it'll be somebody else coming through that door than you thought. So don't put such a, don't put a label on your wish. Put an energy and a love and a freedom to your wish, so that if it's not exactly what you thought, maybe better, it can still come through. You know, you still have the right connection to that energy. It's still okay to put, you know, your specifics or your particulars on something, but still always leave it open-ended. You know, if you have to be like, I would really like something like this, you know, because I feel like this is, you know, meaningful to me, but if there's something better, I am open to it. Allow that openness. Allow your box to be open. Because, you know, when it's bigger than what you thought before, there might be something bigger than you planned. You know, or it might be something that comes through when you have this big wish and you just want to shut the box. You know, so don't have expectations on that wish. Allow there to be a freedom with the wish. Whether you're beginning something, you're in the middle and you're waiting for something, or that wish is coming through the door today. That call is coming through. That answer is coming through. You know, that relief is coming through. That communication, that closure. You know, that new path. That new, I hear class. That new, maybe you looked up something and there's like something you sign up for and it's like, wow, it's just like in time with when I was looking for something and I haven't missed it yet. You know, I can sign up now is what I'm getting. That's sort of weird. So maybe it just takes you looking at something and I'm getting schedule, opening something up. Maybe you have to physically move something around or physically go somewhere or physically do something, you know, to help this wish come through. Maybe it doesn't just pop on through by synchronicity or by divine intervention. Maybe it takes a little bit of investigation on your behalf, but it's investigation that comes through that spiritual fire, that spiritual passion to figure something out, to know something more. It's that like, oh, I really should look that up, or oh, it feels like it's a good idea to do something. Go with that good idea. That good idea might be that inspiration to get you on that path, to have that wish come true, to have something come through. So follow the clues and be aware of the clues. You know, look around you and see how things are unfolding. I feel like you definitely have to let something go for it to come in. So you have to allow things to go that are keeping you down, not allowing your wishes to come true. That could just be beliefs, you know. I feel like you have it going on. Like you got a lot of, I'm hearing like oomph or stamina or independent resolutions to things. And maybe you're listening to others and maybe it's not even you. Maybe you have good, like, I'm getting like you're really strong on your own. Maybe you just get stagnant or stalled by either things that happen, circumstances that feel like, they like held you back or pushed you back, or like a detour or a traffic, you know, something you didn't expect, you didn't plan. It made things go off the map or off track or off your plans, but it helped you deal with something and learn something and get maybe somewhere else, or maybe just change your direction or your focus or see something different, a different clue in a different area you couldn't have seen if you didn't have that stall or that transition or that thing. So what you've asked for is coming true. It's still coming. It's a happening process. Wow, I just thought of I feel it coming by the weekend. So a lot of songs are coming through, and I'm just going to continue and move along to the Fairy Tarot. That's what I wanted to reach for, so let's go for this one. Let's get another card for Monday, January 9th, 2017. Your wish is granted, and what you've asked for is coming true. Let's get another card for Monday. Clarity. And this and the grouse. Express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. Maybe, you know, if you, I'm like hearing getting stuck. So maybe if you're stuck on something, or you know, you're like you can't speak or whatever. Maybe it's just moving to a different room, moving to a different location, going on a walk, turning on some music and changing the energy. You know, changing how you harmonize with your environment. I feel like music can like dissolve negative energy in an environment. So maybe it's just changing the song, changing the tune, changing the frequency a little bit, and that helps the environment feel free. I'm hearing more lively, maybe more, you know, resonating more with the others in the environment as well. Maybe find something that everybody feels a little more in tune with, or just keeping things changing. So you're not stuck on the same song. It's like when you like a song and it's nice in the beginning, but you play it over and over and over and over and over, and you start to not like it a little bit, or you kind of like it, but you have to go through it. So I see like either change up the instruments that you use in that song, so it's the same song with a different background, or put a new song in there, or, you know, go do something completely different altogether and then come back to the old song with a new energy. I hope that made sense. I see a stage show again. Or even like a daytime show, or something where you have something you do the same every day, but you have to have something different, or it just becomes kind of old and the energy is not fresh anymore. It's just kind of like I just saw somebody like taking mud and just throwing it against the wall. And then I just thought of those things that they used to have in the, I want to say the 80s. It was like a little octopus, and it was sticky. You get them from like a gumball machine, I think, and you would take it and like throw it against the wall. It would like walk down the wall, sort of, as long as the wall was clean and it wasn't too dirty. And then it was sort of entertaining for like 2.5 minutes. So, oh, I have something that looks a little like that. Hold on. I know you guys think I'm corny when I get off track, but sometimes I feel like you need a visual, or I do. It looked a little like this. It wasn't crazy with the LED light and everything, but it had like these things, and you would just kind of throw it against the wall and it would walk down. So it sort of reminds me of that. Maybe this is meaningful for somebody. It's kind of like a yo-yo. All right, let's get a card and clarity for Monday. Let's get back on track. See what kind of energy is coming through, and wisdom for us all. Oh, nice. Well, this is the Prince of Autumn. So this is the knight that always knows how to get back on track. Always. You know, he or she is pretty steady. They have willpower. They have the right kind of drive to know how to get it done over the long term. It's not the quick night. This is the slow night. This is the long, like the long journey. So on a long journey, you have to plan accordingly. You have to have enough to get through the seasons, prepare for the seasons, understand there's time to move and there's time to sleep. There's time to figure something out and there's time to play. You have to move your energies around. You have to circulate things around. The good thing is this knight always gets his or her goal in the end. It might take a little longer, but they do it right. When there's a mistake, when there's a necessary change, or I'm hearing pattern, like a necessary change in pattern or a solution, they take the time to figure it out. So it's not a blockage as they move forward, because they need that clear space to continue to plow the fields and plant the seeds and take care of the crops and cultivate these energies. So there's always some kind of growth in every season, or some kind of task in every season that is useful for that season and preparing somewhat for the next season. This could be you. This could be somebody you know, or this could be the energy, advice, wisdom coming through for our day. It's a person, so that's hard when a character energy comes through. It could be a personality you know, or like a facet in your personality coming through today to do it right. To start from the beginning, to plant those seeds right, and to get it done. To just start, to begin. Usually this night is pretty helpful. So if this is someone you know, they're not just going to be on board for a minute and then leave. They're going to continue to help you out. Even if they're not there all the time, they're always there to help, to give you advice, to Like they come through. This is the friend that helps you move. Like if you have to move, you call them up, you get some pizza. I'm seeing like a bunch of dudes having pizza and beer, you know, and that's it. They're on, you know, they're on board with you. They'll I see somebody with a truck too. Maybe somebody's moving all of a sudden. Wow, this little prince, by the way, is flying on a, like a, I want to say like a maple leaf, like over the landscape. So you're looking at like the bigger picture, you know, the broader perspective, the map of something, so that you know where to land, what to do, what to focus on. So, you're gaining clarity on the bigger picture, which is nice. I usually think of this night on the ground, but maybe you're having that chance to see above something, to see the higher perspective of something. Maybe this is that platform. You know, that night that was on the ground before, feeling the earth, finally getting that platform, finally seeing something different. I feel like you have like this magical, it's almost like a rod's energy here for the Prince of Autumn, which is usually the Prince of Pentacles, the Prince of Stones, the Prince of Earth. It could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo energy, someone you know, or just that kind of earthy energy coming through. But maybe you're already grounded and now it's time to take that earthy energy and fly a little bit, you know, to move a little easier I feel like just over your situation. I feel like you're going to land at different points, but you're figuring out where to land, you know, maybe figuring out what that beat is. Curious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, and kindness to others. I just feel like this is the night that's hands-on, you know, that sits down and has a picnic with you, that brings you up on board. I just saw this little knight, like all of a sudden having this as like a magical carpet, and heard Aladdin, A Whole New World come through. There's a lot of songs today. The Prince of Autumn, yeah, it's interesting. You have wings here. So you have these big butterfly wings. So you can dance on the earth. You can choose to fly, choose to transform a situation, choose to see your situation differently. Or it's almost like you can command the energies of the earth that you're in tune with to move with you too, if that makes sense. Like this orchestra is nature around you. Because this leaf is moving either from the energy that you are connecting with it through, you know, the circulation you're on, almost like a horse, you know, or, you know, what you're thinking about as like chi energy to move you towards a thing like teleporting, or it's the wind coming through and blowing you along. Who knows? It could be magnetism moving you forward. It could just be focus moving you forward, but something is working with you to move you forward. Dependable, protective, chivalrous, and humorous. Protective. I feel like if there's something like, you know, I see a lot of pictures and a lot of like scenarios coming through. These cards are pretty nice. I just saw this little knight like just sort of riding along doing his or her own thing and seeing something go on below and sort of like coming down and rescuing that situation and bringing something with you, like bringing somebody with you and like going on a journey. Like maybe I hear Escape. Oh, wow. I just thought of Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani. So, yeah, I think of that. So maybe that song, that also makes me think of gold and like being trapped before by something around you and finding a way out of where, you know, you were trapped. But I feel like if you were trapped somewhere before, it was allowing you some time to figure out how strong and valuable your own energy is for you to make that new journey coming forward. So maybe you felt, or maybe you felt trapped, you know, you really felt trapped by something before, but it's changing your focus and opening that cage, opening that door to see how whatever was keeping you down before was keeping you down, to change your focus, to give you strength, to help you understand the way out, to maybe a different way out. Maybe you kept trying to get out the same old way and that wasn't the right escape. Maybe it was just the back door, or changing your focus and feeling like all of a sudden you can just teleport your way out of there easier than getting, I don't know, like trapped in the problems, trapped in the dilemma. It's like you just had to think about it a different way. All right, I need more focus with that because that took me a different way than I thought. So usually when I think of that knight, I think of like this knight on this big strong Clydesdale horse stomping through the forest and like taking a nap under a tree and like hanging out, you know, having a picnic, and then like planting a whole field and then going to bed, like really like just diligently figuring out day by day, depending on the weather, what to do with what's going on and whoever's on board for that day. And if they feel like their energy is really helpful in a particular situation, they get on board and they do it till the end and they finish it up and then they move along to the next project. So, maybe there's a way to see above a situation and make some final touches on something like at the end, you know, so maybe you can go down, I'm seeing that like getting a project done or getting most of it done and figuring something out, but then rising above the situation to see what you need to do first before you go back down and, you know, take care of that final chapter or something like that and put the, you know, like close the book and take it with you and take it to the publisher or click play or send something out there or make that connection to your audience or something like that. Kindness to others. I see humorous, and it makes me think of like, I'm going so many different directions with that card. It makes me think of like a comedian who's really good with like ad-libbing. Not the comedian that does the same routine over and over and over and over, but maybe has a base routine, some base jokes, some base things they do, but completely adapt that routine or that show to the audience that they have, to what energies actually happen in time. At one point, I worked at a comedy club in New York City for a while. I got to see all of them, all of the acts, all of the different comedians, the ones that do the exact same routine every single time and rely on that same laugh and pretend like it's the laugh that was just like in the moment, but no, they just go with that same laugh every night. And the ones that totally change it up, do something different, work with the energies. You know, it's different when you see something on the other side and you see how it looks every day. What can you do to add a different energy is what I'm getting. Like, do something a little more instinctual, a little more ad-lib, a little more in the moment and see what happens and just roll with that. Roll with the punches. Roll with what comes through. Sometimes those weird mess-ups or those weird hackles make the best show. You know, if you ride it right, don't ride that wrong, ride it right. You know, trust that energy's there to bring you a different momentum or change perspective or turn a different direction or wait for something more magical to come through. The best comedians I've ever seen are the ones that have noticed those amazing connections they have with that moment and then use that moment to the next, you know, the next show. You know, don't latch on to it and make it happen if it's not natural, but take that energy and that thing that happened and use it so you can maybe make a more natural connection that is the same with whatever you did and you had control over the next show. I hope that made sense. That took me down a different road. So let's continue. Let's get another card for Monday. And that's the Guardian of Emotions. So that's like the King of Cups. So this could be a different person. These could be the same person. The younger energy is starting a little bit new, a little fresh, you know, and getting grounded. Even if you're actually the king, you're starting something from the beginning, a little bit different, starting over on something. It could be in a relationship, another chance with something, another chance to get grounded in something that you're even really good at. But this adds emotion to it. This is the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy male. So it's the male energy that understands his or her emotions and how to be helpful with them without being overly affected by them, if that makes sense. There are points where this king has gone through the phases of being the page in the night and having those experiences of diving into the waves under the ocean, dealing with the monsters, dealing with the scary energies and things in the dark that are down there and things that glow in the dark, and knowing what to do when you come back up to the surface and you can breathe again. And really understanding how there's, I feel like there's a big difference between when you're floating on the surface of the ocean in the sunlight and like, just sort of like drifting along. I just thought of Waves by Mr. Probes. I thought of another song too, but I can't think of the title. I can see the video. I saw it once, I put it in a link, and it came on my Pandora a few days ago. I'll find it, I'll put it below. So understanding when to come up to the surface of something and when to dive down deep. How to find strength in what you feel and not be scared of those feelings. To use those feelings as your guideposts, you know, and your navigation system towards what you should move towards and what you should move away from. So he also is the philanthropist, helps, you know, give to others, but doesn't get, you know, does it sort of, I want to say like business-like, doesn't get emotional in the situation and just sort of fixes it, helps get in there. Like he's aware of everything that's going on, but he puts a logic to it. So that wave doesn't just kind of like come by and knock you over or knock him over. It's a male energy. I'm getting a male energy here. I'm not really getting a female unless this is the female that's a little bit less emotional and more of the doer, the giver, the let's go. Are you okay? Let's get this done. Like more wearing the pants in the situation and helping somebody like get up, you know, if they fall down, and gets the Band-Aid. You know, it's not sitting there like, oh, are you okay? Whatever. It's like, it's okay. You'll be okay. Let's get a Band-Aid, clean this off, and let's go along. And here you go. Get the ball and throw it again. And like, kind of like what just happened, and get your attention away from the problem so much and into the solution. I hope that made sense. Like the parent or that adult figure or that wise person, you know, it could be your age, but the kid that's around you that's not like crying with you, but the one that's like, before you know it, they just kind of came in and fixed everything up, but you forgot anything happened to begin with. It's just sort of like, whoa, okay, let's go. All right, yeah, and just sort of like changes your focus out of the problem into the solution and gets you out of that emotion and into a better emotional wave. You know, so you're not stuck there crying, you're over the hump and seeing that you're strong and back into the mix right away. So guardian of emotion is this situation requires emotional maturity and total trust. You're surrounded by those who have only the best intentions, so you can rely on the advice you're given. Challenges will be resolved. This card is also indicates a generous humanitarian and refined person whom you can completely depend on. This could be a reference to these characteristics inside yourself. So finding, you know, where to put the pants on inside of yourself to find a solution with something instead of feeling like you're circulating in those emotions and those waves too much and they're like sucking you down in the undertow. It's almost like using that energy to lift you higher. I'm seeing you, I keep seeing this lift, you know, taking something that was down here and it moving higher. So, ooh, it's a long reading today. All right, let's get one more card for the day from the Oracle of Visions by Sierra Machete. Charity on Monday, January 9th, 2017. I love you guys so much. I appreciate your patience when these readings are long. All right, there must be a lot of energy coming on through. I hope there are nuggets that resonate with you guys. All right, let's get one more card for the day. Monday. And that's nice. Reaching through, like receiving wisdom, communicating, touching others, having that moment, that transition time, putting something away, putting something to rest, realizing all that you've gained from where you've come from the practice you've put into something, letting yourself shine through, putting that side of you away that you feel like you have to cover something up, and just being a little bit exposed here. You know, we can have a mask that covers us up or amplifies something inside of us, you know, amplifies attributes about us, so that attribute is magnified out there. And sometimes it's just finding the, you know, the bare-faced surface of something. Although this surface, he has like almost like a star tattoo. That's funny. I have one tattoo, by the way, just one, and it's a Chinese character, and it means star. And I got it when I was 16, and it's white ink. And you can hardly see it unless I point it out. But I did a lot of research before I got it to know that I was, you know, getting something very meaningful for me, even though it was small. And it means the stars, the planets, the universe, or performing artist. So I thought that the star had a bigger meaning in one little character than could be said otherwise, and I was 16. So, oh, wow, that was a weird thing to come through. All right, so number 28 is also a 10. It's a tweener. It's a betweener time. It's an ending and a beginning. It's something reaching through, breaking open. Something's reaching through the glass. Now I just thought of Through Glass by Stone Sour. Oh, there's a lot of songs coming through today. All right. Contact, reaching out, spiritual bonds and connections. Each contact with a human being is so rare, so precious. One should preserve it. ANAÍS. In this life, we are spirit and we are flesh. When we forget we are both, we can suffer unnecessarily. This card can indicate a need to take time for meditation and connect to one's higher self. This will in turn allow us to see the spiritual aspect of others more clearly and be able to reach out to them more easily. A young man stands in a contemplative mood. The mask before him indicates that he has stepped away from his usual role in life. A flame beside the mask signifies the eternity of our nature and reminds us that all that we see in this earthly realm is no more than a mask. You know, wood here, but if you look at this wood really, 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 really close, the closer you get, the more space there is between the molecules, the atoms, you know, the electrons, the proteins. The more space there is, the closer you get. So, in his right hand, he holds a bell jar that contains the face of a woman. Maybe she is his spirit guide or a love from a past life. She is reaching out to him with much love and tenderness. In his left hand, he holds two batons, indicating the duality of human nature. They might also indicate that he has more than enough will to move forward with his life. So, this is the day where we start to get that beat, that momentum, that rhythm to move forward with something that's reaching out for us, that we're also reaching out towards. It's going to feel like it goes hand in hand with your own rhythm. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.